On this episode, I'm going to tell you about the new AI tool that I think is 10 times better than ChatGPT that you need to be using right now because this is pretty mind-blowing. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 282 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I'm your host, Dustin Brohm, and today we're talking AI. We're talking about ChatGPT. You've heard me talk about that in the past. We've done a few episodes on it, and we talk quite a bit about it in the Massive Agent Society group. But I found something over the weekend that I played with, and I'm like, okay, this is infinitely better than ChatGPT. I heard about it on a podcast. I heard it described on a podcast, and I'm like, wait, if that's true, I need to try this shit. And so I'm going to explain it. I'm going to tell you what it is here in just a second because ChatGPT is great. However, ChatGPT is missing so much. There's this massive gaping hole in it. Let's call it the internet that's missing from it, right? And I found something that actually has direct access to the whole internet. And you can do all the same stuff you can with ChatGPT with this tool. Really excited to talk to you about it because it's going to help you be more productive and be up to date with information in what you're trying to have it generate. So if you're looking to be productive, get more marketing content done, and just be able to provide a ton more content than you already do, that's really good. You're going to want to listen to this. Before we get started, though, I have something I'm pretty excited about. Something I've been planning for a little while, and then recently put the pieces together, pulled the trigger, and this is a fairly timely announcement, all right? Something you need to know about. Formally announcing the Massive Agent Power Day. So for the first time ever, we're going to do a small, intimate, in-person workshop / mastermind here in Salt Lake City, Utah next month. And we're even going to have a big pre-event networking dinner here at my house. Yeah, I'm going to have the whole group over to my house to have this fancy catered dinner. It's going to be a working dinner. We're going to be doing some cool stuff just to kind of set the intentions for the next day and to really get the ball rolling and plant a flag going into the next day, which is Power Day. So it's all going to be here in Salt Lake in my hood. And because of the nature of this, of course, we're keeping it very small, very small. And small so that we can make it as impactful as possible for everyone who's going. My goal with Power Day is to spend a full day with you, okay, and the night before, of course, with you, like you and me and a handful of others, working on and fixing everything in your business that needs fixing. Okay, your business, your mindset, your business plan, everything that is not firing on all cylinders. The goal is to dive in right then and there. This is not me speaking to you for a whole day. This is sitting down together. This is done with you. So if this sounds interesting to you, you need to go to powerdayevent.com. Grab yourself a spot. Like I said, there's very few spots available, and I announced this to my email list first. They were the first to hear about it and the Massive Agent Society. So there are still some spots available for the quick action takers. And right now until May 19th, you can get 50% off the tickets until May 19th. So if you're listening to this after May 19th, sorry. If there's still tickets available, they are not half off. So take action quickly. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the action takers. powerdayevent.com. Grab a spot, and I'll see you in Salt Lake next month. This is going to be incredible for you guys who make the commitment to be there. And before I jump into this new AI tool that you may have heard about, maybe not, or maybe you just dismissed it like I did early on because I'm like, oh, that sucks. Well, it doesn't. But I've been hearing a lot from our agents lately. I have a team of about 300 agents all across America and in a few different countries. And I'm involved in transactions. Like I know what's going on. I hear about what's going on in these different markets. And I'm seeing a lot of markets. Some are really hot. Some are really slow. Some prices are going up still. Some prices are coming down. It's very market dependent. And so for you in your local market, you've got to stay on you have to stay on top of that shit. And that is difficult to do while you're wearing all the hats in your business. You're having to do all the marketing. You're having to service the clients. You're having to drive across town and open doors and write the offers. And you're doing all the stuff. Staying on top of housing trends, interest rates, economic news, all of that is very, very difficult. So you need a tool like Keeping Current Matters. KCM just does all of that work for you, and they tell you what you need to know, what to expect, and more importantly, how to communicate that to your clients so that you can be a better, more effective advisor to your real estate buyers and sellers. That is what gets you hired. It's not just, hey, we do the best listing presentation, or we sell the most homes, or whatever. We're the number one, we're in the top 50% Home Snap Award bullshit, whatever. That doesn't get you hired. But being an advisor and teaching people something that's going to help them, and it furthers them along in the path they're on towards their goals, that is going to get you hired. So KCM makes that very, very easy, and you can get a free trial of Keeping Current Matters by going to trykcm.com/bam. Do that right away. Let's talk about AI, all right? AI. It is all the rage. It's all anyone's talking about. And with that, the low-hanging fruit, like where everyone gets started with AI over the last 4 months or so, is ChatGPT. Everyone's heard of ChatGPT by now. I'm sure you've used it. If you haven't, oh my God. But ChatGPT is great. Okay, it's great. But I was listening to a podcast late last week, and there were these Silicon Valley tech founders, these billionaire dudes that are like the heads of their industry. And they were talking about ChatGPT. They were talking about AI and all these crazy advancements that are coming in the world of AI. And it's happening so rapidly and it's speeding up. Like, I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of new AI tools are being released every single week. This is happening so fast, and it's only getting faster. And so they were talking about ChatGPT, and one of them's like, I don't even use ChatGPT anymore. It's totally obsolete. Well, that got my attention, because I use ChatGPT for quite a bit, and you probably do too. But there's a tool that came out from Google a while ago called Bard, and they completely botched the rollout. And they botched it so bad, and it was so inaccurate, and it seemed like it didn't even work. And when that came out, I was like, okay, I'll pay attention to Google when they come out with something that actually works and is actually worth a damn. So in the meantime, I've just been using ChatGPT. But one of my biggest frustrations with ChatGPT is the information it's pulling from is wildly out of date. Okay, it only has data up to like 2021. So if you ask ChatGPT who won the last Super Bowl, it can't tell you. If you have it tell you the winner of the last World Cup, it can't tell you because its data is only up to 2021. Well, when it's not connected to the internet, it can only do so much, right? It's just relying off memory, not pulling from current, up-to-date, real-time data. Well, Google's Bard actually is connected to the internet. Here's the thing. Bard is like ChatGPT with Google. It is up to the minute, up to the second. It is real time because it has direct access to Google, which is the internet. So Bard works the same way that ChatGPT does. Some find the interface maybe even a little better, a little easier to use. I think it's relatively the same as ChatGPT, but I'm blown away at how up to date it is. And you can, like, I asked it, tell me about the Massive Agent Society. And it had this great write-up about it. It was about 80% accurate, but I was amazed that it even had that. You ask ChatGPT and it doesn't know. It has no idea. Like, you ask it about yourself, it has no idea. Bard does because it's connected to Google. So I believe right now, Google's Bard, B-A-R-D, is 10 times better than ChatGPT. But just know that there are some wild inaccuracies. But here's the deal. I want to, naturally, I'm like, what's better, Bard or ChatGPT? So what do? I just went and I asked Bard, what's better? And it brought it up in like a table format. Like, here's Bard versus ChatGPT. And I'm going to go down this list so you guys can see kind of where I'm coming from. And by the way, Bard, completely free. ChatGPT, if you want like the newest, latest, most up-to-date GPT-4, you got to pay for it. It's like $20 a month. I'm paying for it. And then I find Bard and it's totally free and with no roadblocks or anything. And you don't even need a plugin to access the internet like you do with GPT. I don't even have the internet plugin for ChatGPT yet. So it's kind of very limited on what you're able to do with it. So Bard wrote me this awesome breakdown. So Bard, the data source is an infinite set of text and code, including information from the internet. ChatGPT's data source, predefined set of data up to 2021. It's old, right? Bard, access to the internet. Yes. ChatGPT, no. Speed. Bard can be slow to generate text. It is a little slower. ChatGPT, a little bit faster. Accuracy. Bard can sometimes be inaccurate. Yes. ChatGPT, more accurate than Bard. This is interesting. Bard is telling me that it is less accurate than ChatGPT. A little honesty here, a little self-awareness. That's nice from the machine. Comprehensiveness. Bard is more comprehensive with more informative answers. So far, I agree with this. Answers to questions on ChatGPT can be less comprehensive. Creativity. Bard can generate text in different creative formats. ChatGPT is better at generating creative text formats than Bard. I agree with this too. If you are trying to write marketing copy, if you want like a hook written for an ebook, if you want a headline written for a video or this or that, I found that ChatGPT is actually better at writing marketing copy than Bard. Bard is much more straight and to the point, and it's kind of like Google search terms versus a hook or a headline, right? And they're different. So depending on what you're trying to do, just know that you have these two tools available. So Bard can generate code, translate languages, write different kinds of creative content. ChatGPT is limited to a narrower range of those features. Bard is free. ChatGPT 4 is a paid service. It's like $20 a month. Bard, easy to use. ChatGPT says, according to Bard, it can be more difficult to learn. Overall, according to Bard, by the way, horrible fucking name. Like Bard is the ridiculous. Anyways, Bard is a better language model than ChatGPT. It is better at providing comprehensive and informative answers to questions. It is better at generating creative text formats and has access to the internet in real time. To me, that's the biggest thing. So I asked Bard, who won the last Super Bowl? It tells me the Kansas City Chiefs won Super Bowl LVII, whatever the fuck, defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 38-15 on February 12th, 2023. It told me who the MVP was. They threw for 182 yards and 3 touchdowns, blah, 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 blah. You ask ChatGPT that, it has no idea. So if you're confused and you're like, great, now I have these two tools, there is a difference. If you want the power of ChatGPT, but you want to pull from the internet to get up to the minute, like deep, obscure, like if you have some obscure reference you want to make or access something that ChatGPT would have no idea about, use Bard, totally free. It's amazing. I suggest you try them both out. It's not going to cost you any more money. Just use Bard. You just log into Google and you have access. No roadblocks, no gatekeepers, nothing. It's just free. So check it out. When I used Bard the first time, my first thought was, holy shit, this is 10 times better than ChatGPT. It's not always better because, like I said, if you're writing marketing copy, if you want it to write headlines, if you want it to write email subjects, if you want it to write, summarize the top 10 reasons of this or that or the other, ChatGPT 4 can actually do a little better job of the copywriting, I believe. But the inaccuracy that comes from that when it doesn't have direct access to the internet, it's an issue. So you have to weigh the two. Here's the deal. Right now, I think Bard takes the lead. I think Bard is a better tool than ChatGPT. As soon as ChatGPT gets direct access to the internet without the need for being on a wait list and getting a plugin, once Microsoft just like gives them access through Bing, I think ChatGPT 4 is just, I can't imagine anything more powerful. But then again, don't underestimate Google, and I did for a very, very long time. What's relevant here to real estate agents is you now have more options than just ChatGPT for creating content, for helping you write better emails, write better posts, to come up with post ideas and video scripts and all of that. And if accuracy, and you need detailed up to the minute information, now you can get that from Bard without having to just get ChatGPT 4's bullshit without the data and then going and finding it and plugging it in. Now you can just get it from Bard. So it's another option to help you get more accomplished faster, which is pretty cool. Let's talk a little bit more about video and images. So there's a lot you guys have probably seen, if you've done any research at all into AI tools, that creating images from text is actually a big thing right now. There's a handful of tools where you can generate images and even video from just writing text. Like you write out a text description and boom, the AI generates images. So I spent a good 4 hours messing around with a tool called MidJourney, which is like the big text to image AI tool, MidJourney. And I think I paid $20 for the month or $10 or something like that. So I could, so I had all the features to it. And I messed around with it. I did some Google searches and looked on Twitter to find out, hey, what should I be asking it? Like, what kind of prompts should I be prompting it with? And I came to the conclusion, after using MidJourney and using Dal-E, which is the image, text to image tool from, what's it called? OpenAI. I found that right now, it's completely fucking worthless to me. This text to image thing is completely worthless right now. Now, once they fix a few things, it's going to be wildly useful. But right now, it's completely useless. First off, if you want any text whatsoever in the images, the AI cannot do it. So if I wanted, it was like, hey, there's a guy, a 40-year-old guy with a little gray in his beard and a backwards black hat and a white shirt or a black shirt with text that says Massive Agent standing in Central Park in front of the NASDAQ building or something like that. I think that's the first one that I did. I just tried to imagine this scene, and then I described it as best I could. It cannot write Massive Agent on the shirt. It's crazy. So for me, if I was in a business where I needed like fantasy images, or, or all these like super imaginative images, it'd be amazing. I was messing around and I said, show me Donald Trump as a real estate agent standing in front of his listing. And it made some pretty hilarious images. That was actually pretty good. But for marketing materials, for graphics, for my business, or to promote a certain thing or whatever, it's worthless because it can't do any text, and it can't put me in it either. It could do people that kind of look like me, but then it fucks with the hands. You guys that follow me on Instagram, I posted all the it went totally wrong. I uploaded an image of myself and I'm like, hey, do this in this setting, and it shows like if I was like a burn victim, it showed that version of me. My hands were all like weird and deformed. It can't do hands. Like it adds, these tools add extra fingers, add extra arms. It's just all fucked up. So right now, I'm glad that I spent some time messing with these, because I hear so much, oh, you got to be using MidJourney. AI can create all these images for you. If you don't have a need for fantasy or imaginative or artwork type images, it's completely worthless as of now. As soon as they can improve it to where you can do text and you can actually put you in it, well, then we're in a whole different world. Oh, by the way, it gets pretty crazy, but that's when I can see using it. Right now, I don't have to waste any more energy on it. It does nothing for me. There's also AI tools where you can use text, you write text, and it will generate videos for you. I know that there's a lot of Fortune 500 companies that are using these tools to like create explainer videos, or have like some talking head explaining a product, or describing a service, or even doing like onboarding videos for employees that walks them through policies and procedures and all that. Those actually look pretty freaking good. You cannot tell that AI person is an AI generated person. They're not real. It's just a computer generated person. That's pretty cool. But I haven't messed with that yet. That's the next step. The images, I'm done with. Don't need to mess with that until they fix it. But the images, that's very interesting. But until I can put myself in them, I don't really know what to do with it. Here's the danger with all these tools. And here's why I'm spending all this time talking to you about it today. They can be a huge distraction if you don't know what you're trying to accomplish. If you don't know what your goal is. If you don't know what you're trying to create. If you don't know what you are like, what's the goal? What are you working towards? What do you need to get done? What kind of content do you need to put out? If you don't know, it's easy to get very distracted with all this stuff. I know what I'm trying to do. So then I was able to find out if the tools could do it. Once I found out, oh, it cannot, cool, on to the next one. Hey, can this one help me do this specific thing? It can. Okay, cool. I'll use that. That's where I found Bard. I'm like, that can help me in certain situations as ChatGPT can. Guard yourselves, guys. Guard yourselves. Shiny object syndrome is alive and well, not just in real estate, but for everybody. But AI is real. It's improving super fast. There are a trillion different tools out there that can help you. But very few, I believe right now, can actually help you accomplish what you need as a real estate agent to help you sell more homes and do all the marketing and do all the promotion and do all the, get more exposure and get more accomplished. There's not a whole lot more outside of ChatGPT and Bard that I'm seeing yet. Stay tuned, because that could all change literally next week. Like next week, some new version or some new tool could come out that can do a certain thing. And it's like, oh my God, it's off to the races. Like I've heard of tools where they'll go to your website, they'll go to your social media, they'll look at what your brand feels like, they'll look at like all of it, and then they'll just start suggesting, hey, based on what we're seeing that you've done in the past, you should do this. Here's an ebook you could do. Here's a video you should do. Here's a graphic. Here's a logo update. Here's a website refresh. And by the way, here's the code for the website refresh. That stuff is happening. I just haven't seen it quite yet, but once it's there, you better believe I'm going to jump on it, as should you. But just right now, you don't have to jump on every shiny object just because AI is the hottest thing. It is, but so is being focused. So is being focused and actually productive. So stay productive. Don't worry about all the extra bullshit. Experiment with it like I did. I decided today I'm going to learn about this to see if this can help me or not. And I learned it cannot yet. So here we are. I hope that this was helpful for you. And there will be lots more to come. Make sure you guys grab your spot, grab your ticket, grab your seat. Reserve your seat for the Power Day in Salt Lake City next month. You can do that over at powerdayevent.com. There are, I think, 15 or so spots still available. Make sure you get it as quickly as possible, especially before May 19th, before the 50% off promo expires. And then they're going to be full pop. Tickets are 50% off right now for people who take action quickly. powerdayevent.com to join us in Salt Lake next month for our Power Day. It's going to be epic. I'll see you there. Thanks for listening. Take care, guys.